Tyler, first off, thanks very much for joining us on an anniversary that many people, not only across Western Canada, and many around the world, who came to the aid of people like you who were unfortunately on that bus. When you think back 2 years, you woke up this morning. What were some of maybe your first thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously your mind is a little foggy and cloudy just with all the memories coming back and with it being an anniversary, it's never an easy thing to adjust to and kind of get out of bed. But for the most part, I think I just kind of thought about what my angels and what everybody would want me to do, and that's to just live out the day and kind of do what I would do on a regular day and just remember him like I do every other day. So.
When you go through a grieving process, I know there are good days and bad days. I don't want you to talk about the bad day, but do want you to talk about what a good day is like for you when you maybe feel a bit stronger and healthier and just, more able to deal with what happened to you and so many on the bus that night.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of bad days, a lot of good days as well. But like I said before, I think my angels and they're always watching, and I know that now, and I think they would want me to just go about my day like I used to, like when I was a junior hockey player. So usually a good day is just a nice workout, a good sweat in. I used to work out with Bulls and Gomer pretty much every day at the rink, and then get some school done. Obviously, a little different situation right now with the online classes, but before that, I was going to Nate every day. So still just getting myself out of bed, getting in a routine, and kind of just going about my day, and always just remembering them in the little ways and in the big ways as well. Just doing what they would want me to do, and because I know they're watching. So.
You get a chance to stay in touch with many people. Some people, is it weekly or just random like so many people? Just depends on scheduling.
Yeah, it just depends on scheduling. Obviously, everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and I mean, we're not in the same location, which is tough sometimes. But like with technology, we're able to FaceTime and text as much as we want, and whenever you feel the need, it's usually lots. I mean, I talk to a fair amount of the guys quite a bit and try to keep in touch, but it's too bad that we can't really even be able to see each other right now, anyways. So the FaceTime will have to suffice, but. Yeah, we try and stay in touch as much as we can and keep tabs on each other and figure out when we can see each other next.
Tyler, are you able to kind of give us an idea of maybe, you mentioned off the top about anniversaries are certainly days that everything is even stronger, maybe more intense, if that's the right way to put it. Where are you at, 2 years after that unfortunate crash compared to maybe where you were 1 year after it?
Yeah, like looking back, I've definitely made strides and I've definitely been able to move forward, and I think we all have. But at the end of the day, it's still always in your mind, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is. And I think it's like I've mentioned lots. It's just an everyday process. So just relying on the people around you and getting back into routine and kind of figuring out what works best for you. And now I've been able to share my story through public speaking and get back to school and still playing hockey. So I think little things like that are definitely help in the long run and help with my well-being. And yeah.
Do you find that for you, you talk about this publicly, that it does give you another avenue to continue to heal? And are there times where you go, okay, I think I've spoken enough at this particular time or this particular week. I'm good now to stay quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've kind of chosen that path of wanting to share my story and wanting to help others, and I mean, we all heal differently, and for the most part, I definitely don't want to overstep and kind of push myself to the limits, and so I definitely have to still listen to myself and not kind of cause too much stress on myself since I'm still in school. So I'd love to speak as much as I can. I'd love to get more educated on mental health and little things like that, but yeah, you're definitely right about that. It's just about being patient and kind of figuring out the right times for you and figuring out what works best for you and kind of going with that and always kind of figuring out that path and that's public speaking for me so far and possibly television broadcasting at Nate. So.
Well, I want to ask you about people that have helped you and people that continue to help everyone who was involved in that crash. What do you say to them how much of a difference has it made in your life and so many people that were impacted by the crash?
Yeah, I don't think like every little thing that happened since and even to now is it's still always in our fondest memories, and like every stick out the door outside the on the porch, or every little note or every donation, whether it was privately or GoFundMe, it definitely didn't go unnoticed, like Jacob Wasserman said in his statement today. So I think the thank yous, we can always say them, but it truly means more than that. The way that everybody's rallied, and the way that they rallied right after and still support us is mind blowing. It's absolutely astonishing. And even I was listening to Spittin' Chicklets today, and they did a little mention of us today, and even little things like that. It means the world, and I think it helps us push forward and helps us move forward in the long run.
Well, you help us do that as well. And you mentioned radio and television arts at NAIT, second post-secondary school in Edmonton. Real quick, you were supposed to join me March 29th for hometown hockey. Ron Tara, as the Edmonton Oilers were hosting the Anaheim Ducks. As we know, that game and many more were canceled because of COVID-19. But you have got an invitation anytime, any game to join me, and look forward to learning a bit about broadcasting and a bit about hockey when we get a chance to work together.
Sounds amazing, Gene. I'm very in for that.
Great, Tyler. Thank you, and continue with your courage and your strength as it goes from you to others as well.
Appreciate that a lot, Gene.